Nicolson Russell is a South African company. We've been operating since 2007, based out of Johannesburg. So we import, design and manufacture designer cutlery from around the world. We do cutlery for retail. We're in quite a few retail stores across South Africa. And we also do for the hospitality industry, which is events, hiring, restaurants, hotels and private lodges. So I was an air hostess. I worked for Emirates and lived overseas. We were on a flight to Sydney and there was a bad storm, so we actually got grounded in Thailand, in Bangkok. We were there for 4 days. So the crew and I decided to rent a car and to drive out of Bangkok and head south to a place called Ayutthaya. While we were down there, I found a family making cutlery. It was beautifully made, very shiny. I say the magpie effect. I was drawn to the shiny objects. And I bought 2 sets, one for myself and one for my sister, which I gave to her for her wedding. 2 years later, back in South Africa, my sister was entertaining one night, and she had the financial director of one of the top retail outlets in South Africa at dinner. And he commented on the cutlery and said that if I brought it in, they would sell it. And that was the beginning. I took it as a hint and I quit my job, went overseas to Thailand, found the family that we originally bought the cutlery from, stayed about 2 months with them, and they taught me how to make cutlery. And that was the beginning of Nicolson Russell. That's how it all started. I'm very old school. I still enjoy sketching. I sketch my designs. They sometimes come to me at night in the funniest times during the day, and I will sketch. I then have a team of people that I would give my sketches to. They then put it into the computer, they make it graphical. We send it overseas. We have 4 factories overseas that manufacture for us. They would then make the mold based on the graphics, and then they would make a sample and send it to me. So that's the process in which we design the cutlery. Today I'll be doing a demonstration on how to set a table. This can be used for a formal or an informal setting. It's called a European style, which is basically how most South Africans set the table. The predominant part of setting the table is the napkin, and where it is placed, it's placed in the center on the plate, not on the table. That's what makes it the European style. So to set a table, we'll start with the glassware and how it should be placed on the table. At the top is the water. To the side are your wine glasses. Furthest away from you will be your red wine glass. Closest will be the white wine glass. I'm now going to demonstrate where you would place your cutlery and your plates. So your side plate. Your side plate will go on the left of the main plate. This is what we call the bread and butter plate, and this is where you would leave your utensils when you're finished eating. For example, your dessert spoon, etc. You would leave them there to be cleared, also where you would butter your bread. So we're going to put the pâté knife on it. When placing it here, the only important thing to remember is the blade should be faced away from the diner. So when setting the plate, we're going to put it in the middle. I'm putting the underplate first and then the main dinner plate. And as mentioned to you, the napkin is going to go in the center. That's what makes it the European style. So for the cutlery, on the left are the forks. So this is based on a right-handed person. Sorry to all the lefties out there. So the fork would be placed on the left of the main plate. On the right of the plate, you would put the knives and the spoons. So we put the knives. The important thing to remember is the blade facing in. When setting a table, you have to keep it neat and tidy. All the pieces should be aligned at the bottom. So how we know where to place is it's placed in the order of use. So you would place on the outside the items you're going to use first. Further in is your main items. Those will be used last. So that's something important to remember. So your soup spoons, etc. are placed on the right next to the knife. So for the dessert cutlery, that is your dessert spoon and your dessert fork, you place it on the top of the main dish. So the important things to remember is the fork will face right and the spoon will face left. and the spoon will go on top of the fork. When you are eating with your dessert cutlery, it's important to remember to use the dessert spoon like a knife. You would cut into your pudding with it. You only use the fork to scoop the pudding onto the spoon. You eat with the spoon. If you are going to serve tea and coffee, you can put the tea and coffee cup and saucer onto the table when you're setting it. The option is up to you. If you decide to put it on the table, you can put it behind the wine glasses to the right. The only important thing to remember if you are going to include it is where to put the teaspoon. The teaspoon should go behind the cup and it should be placed at a 4 o'clock angle. We decided to use gold because at the moment gold is very fashionable, but it's also been around for many years. What's also lovely about the gold, it looks lovely during the day and at night, and it can carry a very simple table setting. For example, if you look here, there's very little on the table. It's actually a dark wooden table, and the gold lifts it up and carries it. So a set of gold cutlery is an excellent investment. You don't have to worry about it going out of date and not being able to use it, because it never will.